What's up, ladies and gents? Xcalizorz here, bringing you some more from the desk of xcal. Did you miss me? Did ya? Did you miss me? It's been a while. Howdy, 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 and boy, howdy. What's up, party people? I apologize. I've actually been meaning to make this video for, I think for the better part of like a month. When was the last time I posted a video? Sometime last year. Let's check. December 3rd. Yeah, about a month ago sounds right. Hey, what can I say? I don't know, it's just, me personally, like, around this time of year, I find it hard to, get my day started. Especially with, the weather in Houston is the shit. It's like, dude, just a few days ago, I had the AC on, because it was getting a little steamy in the house. Look, I'll be real with the people. When I boot up the stream, and it's over 70 degrees in the house overall, it gets a little toasty in here. And if I don't turn the AC on, your boy may get the gamer sweats. And I don't recommend getting the gamer sweats. It's nasty, it's disgusting, and it's itchy. It's just the way it is. But anyway, had AC on for the stream, woke up, the heater was on because it was fucking 30 degrees outside. I hate that shit. Make up your goddamn mind and stick with it for like 3 weeks. Could you do that? Thanks. But anyway, it's just, I don't know, even if the weather's decent outside, I still just, for whatever reason, you know, December, January, I just have a hard time getting going at the start of the day, and I don't know, by the time I get my shit together, it's already time to boot up the stream, so I apologize if you've missed me on the YouTube. That's my bad. I've already wasted enough time talking about this shit, so let's go ahead and move on a little bit. I think this might be a little all over the place, because, I don't know, a month ago it was going to be one thing, but a few things have happened since then, so I'm just going to be all over the place. Is that cool? I think that's really the only way I get this shit done. I can't be bothered to write out bullet points and all that sort of fun stuff, and stick to some sort of, what's the word here, structure. I can't do it. When I'm just shooting the shit, rattling things off as they come in my head, I think that's the only way I get shit done here when it comes to YouTube videos. I've always been that way. So, fuck it. Let's go ahead and get on with it. Well, the gameplay that we'll have for you is, it'll probably be 2042, right? So I guess we'll talk about that. The state of 2042 in January. I haven't played in 2 weeks. I will be playing tomorrow if you give a shit to see what some of that looks like. So what do I think of the state of Battlefield 2042? What a shit show. Good lord, I think I initially said this game needed another 6 months in the oven. Fuck, I'd say it needed another 2 years in the goddamn oven at this point. And I guess before I forget, I will touch up on some of the, they did release about a month ago, the 64-player conquest modes and breakthrough modes, and while there is something there, the maps are still just the shit. Conquest 64 is terrible. I'm sorry. It's like, I remember playing, like, what was the breakthrough or breakaway with that stupid ice. I think breakaway. How's that for? They have a game mode called Breakthrough and a game mode called or a map called Breakaway, or I've got that completely mixed up. That's annoying. So we got to dock a couple points there for that, just for my minor annoyance. I am that petty. Well, if you followed me for a long time, you know I am absolutely that petty. It's like you'd say, okay, so in your mind's eye, all right, if I was gonna make Breakaway a 64-player map, we'd have that A sector, and then we'd have that first point at the frozen lake, you know, below the Great Glacial Shelf, and that's it. I think you could fit 64 players. I think you could fit 64 people just in the A sector alone. But what do? They have the A sector, they have the oil rig, they have the point below the glacial shelf, and then they have that point in the middle of fucking nowhere where there's rarely ever any fucking action. I think it's the D sector. It's like, if you were to make a triangle with the glacial shelf point, the oil rig, that sector would be the top point of the triangle. Sorry, I don't know the sectors off the top of my head, but if you played, you probably know what I'm talking about. That is... I'd say I think you'd be hard-pressed to fit 128 people, and they cut the map in like a fucking third. Like, just the map design in 2042 is just a drizzling fucking shit. There's just so much just dead space, and especially if you're an infantry player, it takes forever to get from one point to another. But I will say it's the majority of the performance issues that the game has. I mean, we can say with complete certainty now. Thank you very much for 128 players. And the only positive thing I can say about the 64-player mode is that runs like a dream, runs like a Battlefield game should. Frame rates are beautiful, 120 plus at all times, no dips, no fucking hiccups, no nothing. Runs great. Then you start playing it and you're fucking bored. So there's that, and as far as the breakthrough game mode, when there's 2 points, it's pretty fun. But then when you condense 64 people into these into the last point, which is usually very, very tiny, like that, I think it's one of those D flags on Orbital. I think it's D1. Whatever, whatever. It doesn't matter which fucking one it is, because if all the action, if 64 people get condensed into either of those areas, it's too fucking small. I mean, the 1 point has one building, one tiny little warehouse, and the other has a tiny little fucking 2-car garage, and the other point is a tiny fucking warehouse with like with like 3 crates, a couple of cars, and like a hill. You can't fit 64 people in areas that tiny. It's just not fun. There's not enough cover. Now, my problem with Breakthrough is that, like, I feel like you should be fighting over, like, entire city blocks. Like that, like, there needs to be more cover, more buildings, more trees, more hills, more rocks, just anything. It needs to be, and again, entire city blocks. Like, there's just not enough going on. And, like, God forbid if you're playing Breakthrough with 128 fucking players, good lord, 100 people in the same fucking areas. Sorry, for me, it just doesn't work. I mean, in most cases, I can barely stand 64 players. I think I would prefer 20v20. Even 24v24. As far as like 64 players goes, it's hard to make a map. At least in Battlefield's case, there's just not many maps that work all that well. I mean, like Battlefield 1 had like what 25, 30 maps. I think at the end of the day, I really liked 5 of them at most, and I put up with the rest just cause. But I mean, moving on, and now their big thing is we're coming out with the scoreboard. Aren't you guys excited? The scoreboard's coming back. Except we can't see deaths and we can't see what the other team is doing. So I don't know what was wrong with. I'm saying, did I miss like a movement somewhere or an outrage where like deaths on a scoreboard is now like somehow a negative thing? I don't know. Are there analytics on this? What did the bean counters come up with? Like, is this some way of, I don't know, that's gonna increase profits somehow? Why? Why? I mean, at least with like the EKIA that Call of Duty seems to be leaning into these days. I mean, you can do a little math and figure out how many times you died at the end of the scoreboard or whatever, but that's where we're at. And now, so like the player base is falling off so much that like the game is in desperate need of a server browser. Like this just breaking up the lobby and, you know, trying to find a more appropriate match or whatever. Well, number one, that whole thing pisses me off Just by default, because, number one, there's only 6 fucking maps, right? You can actually go an entire night, and I've done this. Check the VODs. If you've watched, you know. You can go 6 hours and only play 3 of the 6 maps. Maybe you'll get a 4th, like, somewhere in the middle of the night. And where are the other 2 fucking... I mean, not that I'm out here fucking looking to play Breakaway, you know, once an hour, but... you know, well, I mean, the way my luck goes, it's a whole lot of Breakaway, a whole lot of Hourglass, and not enough Manifest, not enough Discarded. Some nights, I've gone entire nights without seeing Orbital. I mean, at least with the server browser, you can get in a server that has a proper fucking map rotation. And then, like, to top it off, so, like, the reason why they do this is, like, see, this is them taking a page out of the Modern Warfare book, right? The book on how to make money hand over fist. You break up the lobby, you get new people in there, you plug it into the EOMM algorithm, you make tons of cash through microtransactions, right? Except Battlefield doesn't have enough players, and then if you end up, like, staying in like, you let the matchmaking do its thing, or... you know, whatever the system is, you end up playing against the same fucking people, game in and game out, until either you get bored or they get bored. So you play against one chopper fuck, you stay in that queue, or that lobby air quotes, by the way. You'll be playing against that same vehicle fuck for the next 2 hours. So what's the fucking point? I mean, I will say, at the very least, I haven't run into any blatantly obvious cheaters, but then there was that one Discord screenshot that was floating around the Twitterverse, where the game is so poorly made that the cheats barely work, and there's not enough people to warrant to justify charging people the subscription to the 2042 cheat, which is hilarious. On a completely different level. But fuck, man. They had a layup. They had a layup after Vanguard showed us what they were doing. And, now it's like, you know, it's coming out that EA's very upset with 2042's performance. And, well, guess what? I guess that's something the EA higher-ups and the player base can agree upon. For the first time in probably fucking 2 decades. We agree upon something. The consumer and the higher-ups. We are disappointed in 2042. So, I mean, yeah, I've spent the past 10 minutes trashing on it, but I'm going to play it tomorrow. I mean, as far as multiplayer games go, what other options do I have? There's not much. I didn't like Battlefield 5. Probably, you know, I was joking like 3-4 months ago that, like, back in October, I was like, you know, this time next year, I'll probably be back on Battlefield 1. And it's looking like that prophecy may be coming true just a lot earlier than I expected it to be. And, I don't know. I mean, it can be fun. It can be fun, but, you gotta play it with people. You have to play it with at least 2 other people. Otherwise, it's not gonna happen. Because, you know, you could at least play Battlefield 1 solo. Because the way it usually ends up working is, if you stay in the same server, good players tend to gravitate towards one another. You'll eventually get in a squad, and a squad will be built up to be pretty good. Because the way Battlefield is, your fun is... it's make or break on the squad. The people in your squad. And in 2042, of course, since we are regressing, the people you get are the people you get. You're stuck with them. I think the last time I played solo, I had, like, I don't know, you know, 40 kills or whatever, and the other 3 people combined for, like, 7. And, like, people like that, look, they don't know where they should be moving. They're in irrelevant parts of the fucking map, and it's just... I mean, at that point, why even have a squad? Because you're not getting revives, you're not reviving them, they're in stupid fucking places, they don't know what's going on. They can't kill anyone. They can't shoot RPGs at vehicles. And when you're in a bad squad in 2042, I mean, there's truly, genuinely just no fucking hope for fun. Unless you just start getting wasted. But if I started to do that, I'd probably just get angry. But, I mean, it can be fun, and I've had some really fun moments in 2042. But you gotta play with people. I mean, I know that's a common trope these days, like, hey, is this game fun? Yeah, it's fun with friends. I mean, it is doubly and triply so with 2042. You gotta play with at least 2 people, because a squad of at least 3 competent people who know what the fuck's going on, like, you can take out vehicles, you can make pushes towards points, you get revives, you get kills, it's great. Imagine that, teamwork is fun. Brilliant take, huh? But that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. Man, what a tragedy. I wonder if they go free to play, if I'll get a fucking refund. Wouldn't that be something? I'll take $100 back and spend that on beer and steak. That's actually what I tell people coming. Is this game worth buying? I'm like, unless you got friends to play it with, I recommend spending that money on beer and steak. That's the way to do it. So moving on here, I gotta wrap this up pretty quickly because my chicken has reached room temperature, and he is gonna be making quesadillas today. Because that's what popped up in my mind, and I've got pico de gallo in the fridge that needs to be eaten before it goes bad tomorrow. Because that shit has a short shelf life. I don't know, something about limes and oxygen and something. I don't know how it fucking works, but anyway, it'll be nasty tomorrow. The pico, that is. Be fine today. And anyway, so, Warzone. Well, I've already sworn that off for at least a couple more weeks, because, well, Ricochet's a failure. That was fun. Admittedly, I didn't run into any cheaters last week, but the week prior to that, every day we had played, we had run into cheaters, and there was this one, Fake Symphony. You gotta love how these fucking cheaters, like, they smurf as, like, known pro Call of Duty players. I mean, just to add on to, like, another level of patheticness. But anyway, this guy and his buddy blatantly cheating. You checked like the Warzone stat tracker after or whatever, and they'd get like 26 and 24 kills each respectively. And then when the game is over, like everyone's yelling at him, "You guys are fucking cheaters, fuck you, blah blah blah," and all that stuff. And so, you know, normally at least when that would happen, yeah, well, imagine. You want to know how many times me and the fucking boys have lost at second place to fucking cheaters? It's happened a lot more than you fucking think. Just because of the way we play, you know, we're not hyper aggressive. You know, we play to win. We don't play to break kill records. That's not us. So, it's happened quite a bit. So at the very least, you know, you catch their fucking name, then you know, scroll through the recent players. I don't know why there just isn't a fucking search function at this point, so that we can type in the guy's name and find it faster to report him for cheating. But, so, at the end of the post game, this was bizarre. This was super bizarre. Like, instead of, like, you know how, like, they have the character models drive away in that stupid truck, and then it gets on the landing craft and then sails away? So, instead of having, like, the guy's character model there, it was just an Ethernet port icon. You know, like the little icon in, like, you know, in the days of old, you know, connection interrupted, that thing. The Cat 5 cable, I guess these days, the Cat 6 cable. Maybe not the Cat 6 cable for everyone, because this fucking country doesn't have fiber internet widely available. I got it, I'm lucky, so I got a Cat 6 cable. It's great, by the way. Fiber is a game changer. But anyway, the player model was replaced with that thing. And it's like, what the fuck? I've never seen that before. And we spent like 5 minutes looking at the recent players to find where the fake Symphony was, and he wasn't there. So now the fucking shyster cheats and tactics are at the point where they can hide themselves from the recent players list, and they don't even show up on the endgame little movie that no one likes to fucking watch. It's just fucking wild. But, you know, it's funny. If I had made this video like the first week I had played Caldera, I would have said, you know, I actually had a lot of fun. And I did. And then the meta got settled in, and I didn't like it anymore. I mean, at this point, what I personally need from Warzone is just input-based matchmaking. Look, controller players don't like playing against PC players, and PC players don't like playing against controller players. That's just the way it fucking is. And you know what? I, for one, wholeheartedly agree. But I think I already ranted about that a couple months ago, so let's not go into that whole tirade. Oh, and by the way, I can't see for fucking shit in Caldera. I don't know, there's so many fucking bushes and foliage. It's not foliage, dude, it's foliage. I should just call it foliage just to piss people off. I don't know, there's just so much going on. It's just so fucking hard. Even people who are only like fucking 30 meters away, it's like looking at ants that blend in. Like when, you know, I'll give Apex one thing. Actually, you know, I have nothing wrong against Apex. I just don't have a regular group to play with, so I don't. At least you could fucking see people. I mean, they stand that. What's wrong with people standing out? We need the Black Ops 4 way of things where everyone's got fucking red Christmas lights on them. Make things a little easier to see. Good lord, visibility is the shit, and on top of that, somehow, someway, one of the things that actually worked from Warzone, well, for Verdansk, I should say, was spotting people. But, like, because there's, like, so many little fucking leaves and jaggies and bushes and fucking palm trees and shit, you try to spot something, and it gets stuck on the fence 2 feet in front of you. Even though you're looking, like, four feet over it. It still gets stuck on the fence. How the fuck did they break that? No, at least one way of getting around not being able to see shit is if for the brief moment you do see someone, you can put a little fucking Dorito on their head for like 3 seconds, give you something to shoot and look at. You can't even rely on that anymore. So, yeah, it's just whatever. I do find it funny though that a lot of the people are upset with like the early game and not being able to buy a loadout until like the first one. I actually like that. At least the ground weapons are fucking usable in Caldera, I'll give them that. But, I don't know, that's really all I got. Oh, and by the way, I guess while we were on the topic of Ricochet, people were having a good giggle of the cheater raging and crying about his stuff not working. While I do find hilarity in it, it's just like, okay, if Ricochet has detected this guy for being a cheater, why is he in the lobby? I get, on one level, it's great that, like, we got a clip of this guy crying. Crying about not being able to be as big of a fucking scumbag as he wants to be. On one level, that is genuinely hilarious. I do like that, but on another level, I'm like, okay, if your anti-cheat knows this guy is a cheater, and you're sitting there playing with his fucking damage values, and he never had a chance at fucking killing whoever he was trying to aimbot, why the fuck is he there? I mean, that's a spot that could be being had by someone who's actually legitimate. You know? That's just me. I mean, look, flag him. He's a cheater. You got the numbers, you got the proof. Get him the fuck out of there. Ban his hard drive. If I can gouge an eyeball. That's a little much for someone cheating at video games, don't you think? Nope. Gouge an eyeball out. Put one in his kneecap. Tell us how you really feel, Bruce. Tell us how you really feel. Yeah, well, I guess it doesn't really matter how I feel because I'm not playing Call of Duty for a while, so there. I mean, you see what I'm saying? I mean, the guy he was trying to scumbag essentially got a fucking free kill that he didn't really earn because the anti-cheat was fucking fiddling with the numbers. Well, I mean, they can't prevent him from joining. I don't fucking know. Just get them all out of here. Life was so much simpler. Black Ops 4 times. I miss those times. Those were good times. The last time I really had I looked forward to playing Call of Duty when I woke up. And hey man, Modern Warfare is like the most successful Call of Duty game of all time. Nah, who gives a fuck? I don't. Alright, anyway, moving on. Do I have anything else I need to talk about today? Oh, I have been playing the God of War PC port, and I gotta say, great PC port. I would say it's like the gold standard of how a PC port would be. Then I remembered like Metal Gear Solid 5 and the Fox engine, and any game on the RE engine, you know, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village, fucking Devil May Cry 5, all fantastic looking games, beautiful games, runs like a charm. Add God of War to the list, whatever fucking engine that runs on PC. I don't know how long they had to work on it, but whatever time they had, give that to everyone else. The game with my rig, 3080, 5950X, 16 gigs DDR4, blah blah blah. Or do I have 32? I think I have 32. I don't know. I don't even know what's in my own computer. Like, once after I build it, I forget. Alright? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Too many numbers. Too hard to remember. But, anyway, it has not dropped below 60. Alright, there are little hitches here and there, but I think that has more to do with, like, loading. And, like, nothing is going on screen anyway except for that loading. So, not a big deal. Not a big deal. Easily overlooked. Game is gorgeous. Play it on Ultra. Well, I'm playing it on Ultra. Doesn't drop below 60. I don't know. It does have a wide range, like anywhere from like 70 to like 125 FPS, but I'm playing it on a controller, so as long as it maintains the steady 60, I'm okay with that. And it does. And it does that and above and beyond, so if you haven't played God of War 2018, I do recommend giving it a gander. Unfortunately, it is $50, but this is the new money-making scheme from Sony. They'll release their games on PlayStation exclusively, then like 3 years later, they get to release it again for $50. It's the Rockstar way of making money, right? Oh, and I guess the other big news too, I guess I should comment on this briefly, was the acquisition of Activision Blizzard by Microsoft. I have been asked a few times on stream what I think, and I don't really play many Activision Blizzard games except for Call of Duty, and the only thing that I personally would like to hear is that Call of Duty will no longer be on a yearly schedule. I think with, like, you know, the modern day, like, you know, fucking microtransactions, and they did add a lot. Did they add a lot of? Yeah, I guess they add plenty of stuff to Modern Warfare since that got released and all that. Because I mean, look, with Cold War and Vanguard, Jesus Christ! Hey, anyone who still plays Vanguard multiplayer, have they fixed the plays of the game yet? Or are they still trying to work out the kinks in that system? Jesus Christ. Ugh, if they can't get it right, just the final kill of the game. Simple, easy, and when you know you're going to get the final kill of the game and you're trying to show off to the people, there it is. Boom. Get your 360s in. Get your 720s if you're feeling bold. I don't fucking know. Get your teabags in. But yeah, I mean, at this point, I feel like monetarily, I mean, they make money hand over fist, so I mean, really, honestly, in this day and age, what AAA title could not stand the benefit from one more year of dev time? So we're not sitting here beating these poor developers with fucking Adrian Peterson's Switch. Gotta meet the deadlines! We need more microtransactions! I've scaled that JPEG! Wait, did I say JPEG? Maybe I meant NFT. Hey! I don't know. It's, I don't really much care for Overwatch. Actually, I think I've only mentioned that briefly on stream as to why. I don't know, maybe I'll talk about it next week or 2 months from now, whenever else I make a new fucking video. World of Warcraft. Wouldn't mind playing WoW Classic. Wrath of the Lich King, but last time I played World of Warcraft on stream, it almost killed my channel, so can't do that, and World of Warcraft is a game that takes time. And time that these days I would love to spend, but I don't have time to spend on it. Oh, what a shame. Well, I mean, I guess I could if I really wanted to, but then I'd become a fat fucking schlub. I'm already pudgy. Hey, I'm working on it. I'm working. I'm not bad. No, I'm not bad. Anyway, alright, I think that's about all I got for today. I've wasted 31 minutes of your beautiful and valuable time. And, well, you're welcome. I'm gonna go make some chicken quesadillas now. So, thank you guys very much for watching, listening. Hope you enjoyed the show, the rants, the stuff. We don't have a cam for Pretty Girl right now, but she is right next to me. Hey, say hi to the people. Yeah, that's a good girl. Alright, people, we're out of here. Peace!